Hiya. So I thought I'd tell you a little bit about the journey that we've been on with Penny's Youth Cafe. My husband, Paul, and I moved to Knoll nearly 3 years ago now, and I was brought up in a Christian family and fortunate enough to go to a really good youth group, and really enjoyed going to the evening services at the church. We were finding at Knoll Parish Church, where Paul and I just joined, that not that many young people were choosing to engage with the evening service held there. So I came up with an idea of holding a youth acoustic cafe in the kind of late afternoon, to then encourage young people to come along to church afterwards. So we ran a acoustic cafe in a building next to the church. The cafe was for young people to come along to, both church and unchurched, and they would sit around tables, have snacks and drinks, play board games. The band would be playing as they did so, and then there'd be a short talk or video to watch, and discussions and conversations on the tables to follow. And it started off well. It was quite well attended, and some people stayed along to the service, but mostly we were finding that most young people were still choosing not to stay to the church service, and their numbers dwindled for those who were coming along to the Youth Acoustic Cafe. So we decided we would try something different, and we opened a kind of Christmas cafe held at our house, which is just a short walk from the church. Had it in our new dining room. Young people would come through the side gate, so they weren't coming through the house. We shut the kitchen door so that they were kind of contained within the kitchen and dining room. And we served drinks, smoothies, milkshakes, cakes that were donated to us from members of the church, and young people would give donations that were given back to the work of the church. And this was really quite well attended. People would drop in after school, and we were finding a lot of needy teenagers especially coming in. We put a chalkboard out at the end of our drive. We even set up a marquee in our garden with films, Christmas films that we were showing as well. And it was a lot of fun. It did encroach a bit on our family time, but hey, I think that's what youth work and working for the church does. And it enabled us to do it as a family, and enabled the young people to feel part of our family as well, which was really good. And then from that we progressed to an Easter cafe. So we kind of the same sort of setup as the Christmas cafe, but this was at church, back in the place where we had held the Youth Acoustic Cafe. So a building next to the church. We had a Easter cafe, and we ran this for 2 weeks over the Easter holidays, and just in the lead up as well to Easter. And it was well attended, and lots of young people were coming who weren't coming to church, which was great. People would just pop by. We put a notice on the just at the front of the church so people would see it as they walked past, and we had people from the local secondary school come in and try our fantastic milkshakes and delicious cakes that we were selling there. This time we kind of had set prices, and we made a fair amount of money. And then from this we realised there was a need in the community to have something for the young people, kind of permanent, for them to be able to call their own, somewhere where they would belong, and somewhere where they could feel safe and cherished, and wanted, and somewhere where they could make friends, they could meet with their friends, they could have adults that they could talk to if they needed to. They could have yummy milkshakes and smoothies and hot chocolates and delicious cakes. And so that is where the journey of pennies kind of really began. We began to think about having a permanent place on the high street in Knoll that would be ran as a youth cafe during the week, where young people could come after school to hang out with their friends, chat to us, and hopefully learn a little bit about Jesus and make those first steps in their journey with God. So that's where that's the kind of beginning of the story, and hopefully you can watch Paul's YouTube video, Paul Holden's YouTube video, which will tell you a bit more about it, and Sue Horton has done a YouTube video as well about how pennies came into being and why it was called pennies and the story behind that. So thanks for watching. Bye.